بسم الله والحمد لله والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أحيي الإخوة في كل مكان بتحية الإسلام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كما كان الاتفاق شيخ آدم، تفضل اطرح أسئلة الإخوة.
Naam. Yes. So the Shaykh greeted you brothers, of course, with the salam and sending the salat wa salam upon his messenger, and reminding you brothers that as we agreed today, inshallah, we will cover questions and answers, or questions that you brothers have submitted, and the Shaykh will do his best to answer those for you, seeking Allah's aid in that. So the first question that we have is from Brother Faisal, who asked about the evidences from the Quran and Sunnah and what the scholars say about the permissibility of buying stocks in companies that sell halal goods and services, even if they might have deposited their cash in interest-based banks or have taken loans related to interest, and they use these to sponsor their operations. So this is the question for the Shaykh to clarify this point, please.
The answer for this question, if they take riba, you don't deal with them. Even them work is halal. They supposed to not taking any contract riba. But if they put them money without taking entrance from riba bank, this is something acceptable, because the contract between them and the bank which dealing on riba is halal, nothing. They didn't take anything as a riba, as a contract, as a riba from this bank. As example, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, he dealt with the mushrikeen, with the kuffar, من اليهود. The contract between the Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم and the Jew was correct. Even the Jew, he deal with many different things, it's haram. So that show us, this is the evidence that the contract should be halal, even if you deal with a person not a Muslim, or he is a Muslim but he deal with the riba or anything in this way. So we go back to the question, if you buy a share halal company without they deal with riba, but they put them money in a bank dealing with the riba, but this company, they don't deal with the riba, this is halal to buy this share. Yes.
No, Jazakumullah khair. Brother Ali Hassan from Singapore, he'd asked about if somebody goes for Umrah, they travel for Umrah, and they want to repeat a second Umrah or third Umrah, what is the correct opinion among the scholars regarding this? So if they've already traveled for Umrah, they do Umrah for themselves, and then they want to do another Umrah either for themselves or for a relative like their parents or for somebody who has died. What is the correct opinion about this?
We follow Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Sahaba. Nobody from them did this, that they repeat the Umrah. We got dalil for Aisha radiyallahu anha, because she was in certain situation, so she went with her brother to do Umrah because she want to do tamattu' fil Hajj. That's the reason. but we cannot find one of the Sahaba, he did it as the way how brother Ali asked. So I believe that the Sunnis should stick with the way of the Sahaba. Wallahu a'lam bima yurid min khair, inshallah.
And the other question from Brother Ali is, if a woman does not do her tawaf, does not go around the Kaaba because she had her menstrual cycle, she had her period, but she does the other acts of Umrah. So for example, she makes the sa'i, she goes around back and forth between Mount Safa and Mount Marwa. When she becomes pure from her menstruation and she does her tawaf, then does she need to repeat the sa'i between Safa and Marwa?
No, she don't need.
Clear, thank you. So she does not need to repeat that. Okay, a sister sent a question that she teaches Quran on the internet. She teaches Quran online on the internet, and she believes that some of her students are affected with Jinn, and she's not able to do ruqya on them through the computer, and these people, they don't have places to go for ruqya in their areas because many of the imams are Sufis. So she says that the Jinn are interrupting the lessons a lot, and some of the things that she says that she sees from the students is that they are changing the pronunciation of the words or the meanings of the words, and she tries to confront the Jinn by she tries to confront the Jinn by saying things or doing things that she thinks the Jinn would not like for example, eating honey with black seed in front of the camera or other things like that. So she's seeking advice on the situation.
Can you tell me the beginning of the question? Just repeat the beginning, please.
No. So she teaches, she said, أقوم بتدريب قراءة القرآن عبر الإنترنت.
No, say it in English, no problem.
Yeah.
Because I want to يعني أختصر الوقت لك. نعم, go ahead.
No. Let me go back to the English writing. So she said, I teach online Tilawatul Quran to reverted sisters, and I have some European students affected by Jinn, and they don't have any possibility.
That's clear now.
No.
Dear brothers and sisters, how you prove that this person have been affected? This is a question mark. Yes, we believe that the human being, we believe in this, that maybe he will be affected. But do you have the dalil that he is affected? This is a big question mark. And also about honey with, I don't know what you mentioned, the honey with something, I believe you mentioned. Habba Sauda, okay. So that's the Jinn will be not familiar, or he don't like to see this. I believe this, you don't have dalil in it, because this is from al-ghaib. So how you prove it? ولذلك هنا نحتاج إلى في القرآن عندما في سورة الكهف بين الله عز وجل زيادة العدد لأهل الكهف رجما بالغيب. فكيف بالإنسان يتكلم عن عالم الجن بأمور هي غيبية ويثبتها من خلال رأيه. هنا الإشكال. ولذلك نحن نقول يرقي الإنسان نفسه، ويقال لكل أحد ارقي نفسك. فكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يرقي الحسن والحسين ولم يكن بهما جن، ولكن هذا سبيل السنة، أن الإنسان يرقي نفسه، يرقي أهله، عياله، هكذا. أما أن تقول أن فلان فيه جن، كيف تستطيع هي أن تثبت ذلك؟ نعم.
So the Shaykh, as he clearly said when he was speaking in English, that this is something that, yes, we believe that in the existence of the jinn, and we believe that possession is something is possible. But this is something from the unseen. This is something from the affairs of the ghaib, which are hidden from mankind. And the Shaykh gave the beautiful example from Surah Al-Kahf, that when Allah mentioned that when the people dispute with each other and discuss with each other about the number of people that were in the cave in Surah Al-Kahf, Allah described this as rajman bil ghaib, that you're speaking about the ghaib without knowledge. Allah mentioned that situation in a blameworthy way, just trying to guess how many people were in the cave. So if that was the case with just something like that, as simple and basic of that the people tried to claim that they know how many people were in the cave, then what about the Alam al-Jinn? What about the world of the Jinn that people try and claim to have knowledge about, that so-and-so has a Jinn in them, so-and-so has a Jinn, or that such and such treatment will work on curing the person from the Jinn. So all of these aspects about trying to declare and state that so-and-so has a Jinn, this is from the affairs of the unseen, and there's no way that you as an individual can know for sure. Likewise, the Shaykh explained about these the methods of trying to cure a Jinn, such as what was mentioned in the question about eating honey and black seed. Then all of this, there's no proof for something like that. And it's from the affairs of ghaib for how the Jinn would actually be removed. As for ruqya, or reciting the Quran on someone, then Shaykh said that we say to anybody, do ruqya on yourself. Do ruqya on yourself. And the Prophet ﷺ did ruqya on Hassan and Hussein radiallahu anhuma, and they didn't have any jinn in them. This is something that is normally from the sunnah, that the Muslim can do ruqya on themselves. Now.
نعم تفضل.
Jade. Just going back to the question list. Okay, so أحد الأخوة يسأل عن أطفال الأنابيب لعلاج العقم. So the brother is asking about the IVF, in vitro fertilization. If the hospital is not able to provide a female doctor to perform this type of procedure, then is it possible for a male doctor to perform this procedure?
إذا استطاع الإنسان أن يصل إلى طبيبة أنثى، هذا ما يجب أن يسعى إليه جاهدا جاهدا جاهدا. ولكن إن لم يستطع لضرورة فله ذلك. والدليل على ذلك كما أخبرت أم المؤمنين عائشة أن النساء كن يجاهدن مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، ولكن بماذا؟ بسقيا يعني الصحابة الجرحى وتطبيب المرضى منهم. فكانت الصحابيات كن يطببن الرجال من الصحابة في أرض المعركة، ولذلك قلت يجب على هذا الرجل أن يسعى جاهدا للوصول إلى امرأة تقوم بهذا الأمر، ولكن إن لم يتوفر الأمر فجاز له أن يكون الرجل يقوم بهذا الأمر. نعم.
So the Shaykh explained that they should strive to the very, very best of their ability to find a female doctor that could treat the female patient, that this is the situation that the very, very best of their ability, they should strive to find a female doctor to do this type of procedure. Likewise, he explained that in the situation of necessity, then it's permissible for the opposite sex to treat a patient from the other sex. And this is like how the Sahabiyat, the female companions, in times of battle or war, that they would treat the wounded men from among the companions, radiallahu anhum ajma'in. So this shows that it is permissible for somebody from the opposite sex to treat someone medically when there's a necessity, but you should strive to the very best of your ability to find somebody of the same gender if that's possible. If there's absolutely no chance to find a female doctor, then the Shaykh said that a male doctor could perform the procedure in that situation. No. Brother, let's see, Brother Bilal John Paul, he asked, is it a mistake to say, if I knew about such and such, then I would have done such and such regarding something in the past? هل من الخطأ أن أقول
يجب أن يبتعد عن كلمة لو، ولكن يستطيع أن يقول لقد قصرت في الإحضار المعلومات الكافية لتحقيق ما يجب تحقيقه. هذا جائز بهذه الصورة.
No. So the Shaykh said that you should stay away from using the word if, like if I did this, then it would have been different, but rather you can acknowledge that I fell short in having the right types of information available to me, or I fell short in having the information that I would have needed to make a different decision at that time. So he said it's better to say it in this way, and you should avoid using the word if. No.
نعم.
Okay, and Brother Jasim asked, so he said a question regarding the Qadr. Was it the manhaj of the Sahaba that they did not complain about the problems that they were faced by them? And is it wrong for a believer to discuss the stress and problems that he's facing in a way that does not show he is displeased or angry with Allah's Qadr?
طبعا يجب أن الإنسان ما يتكلم فيما يغضب الله عز وجل في القدر، ولكن لو قال رجل ورأساه، فقد قاله النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لعائشة صلى الله عليه وسلم، قال ورأساه صلى الله عليه وسلم. والإنسان يجب أن لا ينطق بمحرم في مسألة القدر، هذا هو المراد. وعدم الشكوى مطلب أيضا ثابت في السنة، وعدم الشكوى مطلب ثابت في السنة. نعم.
No. So the Shaykh began by saying that we should be careful of not saying anything that could anger Allah. We need to protect ourselves and be careful of saying anything that would show our displeasure for what Allah decreed. But we have examples from the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the life of the Prophet, about how, for example, he said "Oh my head, oh my head," speaking about his headache, informing Aisha radiallahu anha. So this is an example from the Sunnah where the Prophet ﷺ informed his wife about the pain he was feeling at the time. And also we have examples from the Sunnah where not complaining is evident. There's also examples of the Sunnah where you would not complain about the difficulties and hardship you might be facing. So in summary, we must always be aware of saying something that would anger Allah.
نعم.
Also, Brother Jassim asked if a masjid has a permanent imam to lead the prayer at specific times and the jama'ah is finished, then the people that came after, is it better for them to pray alone in the masjid, or should they go back home to pray alone, or should they pray as a jama'ah there in the masjid? And so he says, are there any proofs, evidences from the Sahaba or Salaf on this issue?
هذه المسألة يعني أتوقف فيها. نعم.
So Shaykh said this issue is something that he withholds from speaking about, and he does not have an answer for it right now. No. Okay. We're almost to the end of the time, so we can close the line and reconnect if you're available, Shaykh.
كم الساعة الحين؟
إلا 17.
أنا عندي فقط 5 دقائق ويؤذن عندنا تقريبا.
Okay, so we'll continue then for the 2 minutes, inshallah. Jade. So Brother Muhammad from Singapore, he said, if my job is a taxi driver and somebody rides with me and they want to go to a church or a temple, for example, what is the ruling for me to take them there?
هذه أتوقف فيها أيضا.
No. So Shaykh said that he needs to withhold from giving an answer about this one. Next question. Also from Singapore, Brother Fahmi, he asked about the Qnoot. When the Imam does the Qnoot in Salatul Fajr, he says this is a situation that they do it all the time, every day for Salatul Fajr. Should he follow the Imam in raising his hands for Qnoot every day in Fajr?
لا.
Okay.
إذا كان هذا هدي متبع لا، لأن موافقة الإمام فيما لم يكن من الصلاة ما يجب أن يكون. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما وضع الإمام ليؤتم به، ولكن يؤتم به فيما هو من سنة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ومن ما هو في الصلاة، ولكن هذا الإمام اجتهد وهو مخطئ، ونحن نعتقد جازمين أن هذا الفعل لم يكن من فعل النبي ولا أصحاب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ورضي الله عنه.
So the Shaykh explained that you would not follow the Imam in this situation because the order to follow the Imam is that we follow the Imam in that which is in accordance with the Sunnah. So if the Imam is doing something that is not in accordance with the Sunnah, then we don't follow him in that. And we don't have evidence from the Quran or Sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ would make Qnoot for Fajr every day. So
لو كانت المسألة خلافية بين الصحابة أو كذا لا يعني وسع الأمر، مثال عندما جمع الصحابة مع عثمان رضي الله عنه وأرضاه، جيد، وأتموا الصلاة. إذن
Assalamu alaikum. So regarding the question about following the Imam if he is making the Qnoot raising his hands, supplicating in every Salat al-Fajr. And the Shaykh clarified that you would not follow him in this situation because the order to follow the Imam is in regarding that which is in accordance with the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and that we don't follow the Imam if the Imam is doing something that we don't have evidence from the Quran and Sunnah for. Then, before the call cut off, the Shaykh began to explain that if it's a situation that there was a clear differing between the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, an example from that, then it would be considerable. Meaning that if something happened like that between the companions, then there is room to follow the Imam in that regard. And an example of that is during Hajj, when Uthman radiallahu anhu, when he was at Hajj, he did not shorten his prayers, radiallahu anhu. And the companions, radiallahu anhum, jami'an, who were praying behind him, followed him in that, even though the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ was to shorten his prayers while he was there at Hajj. But Uthman, radiallahu anhu, because of his specific personal situation, he believed that he should be praying his prayers without shortening, and that's why the companions followed him in that.